A very warm greetings to all. So today we all are going to study chapter number 1 of your computer textbook, which is components of computer and computer systems. So coming to the today's topic. So today we are going to discuss about parts of a computer and their uses. Then we will study about 4th generation computer. Then we will study input devices and output devices. Then we will study about the storage devices. Then we will study window operating systems in brief, and lastly we will discuss about file management techniques. Now coming to the first topic of our chapter, parts of a computer and their uses. So first of all, what is a computer? So computer is an electronic machine which accepts input as a data and processes it into information which is known as output. Now coming to the components of a computer, so there are two main components of a computer, that is hardware and software. So hardware refers to the physical parts of a computer which we can see and touch too. We can see it and touch too. Okay, so like example, I can take a monitor, mouse, they all can be seen as well as we can touch it also. So coming to the software, so software are programs or set of instructions which perform tasks on a computer and can be seen but cannot touched. We can see the software in input but we can't touch it. Now coming to the main components of a hardware. So there are 4 main components in hardware, that is monitor, mouse, system unit and keyboard. So coming to the monitor, so we will discuss about a monitor. So monitor is a television-like device. As you have seen in your home, there is a television. So monitor have similarity in structure as a television. So on which everything done by keyboard is displayed. Whatever input and commands we give on a keyboard, this is displayed on a monitor. Now coming to the mouse. So mouse is a small instrument having 2 or 3 buttons which is used to scroll down or giving a direction on the monitor. So a mouse depends, like if there is an extraordinary mouse, so there will be 3 buttons. Otherwise in simple mouse there are 2 buttons. Now coming to the system unit. So system unit is the part of a computer that houses the primary devices that perform operations and produce results for complex calculation. So it is an important component of a hardware, since it just control all the complex things like calculation and all. So it is the main component of a hardware. Coming to the keyboard. So keyboard is a type of a board which contain various keys, and in this we can give our input sources. Whatever command we want to give, we give it on a keyboard. Now coming to the concept of input processing output. So before going in brief in a computer, we have to study about this concept as it will help you throughout the chapter. So computer works on principle of input processing output. Now coming to the input. So computer accepts input data from the user through an input device like keyboard. Whatever commands and things we want to give as an input, we give it on keyboard. So this input data is same like this. We just receive it from a keyboard. Then whatever it can be, characters, alphabets, whatever you want to give it in it. Now coming to the process. So then after receiving input data, this just process the data into another form of information. And lastly in output came as a result of an input data which is displayed on a monitor, or we can also print it out on a paper. Now coming to the next topic. So our next topic is architecture of the central processing unit. So we will see the structure of CPU and components of CPU. So the CPU is made up of 4 main components. So they are the arithmetic and logic unit, secondly the control unit, third the memory unit, and fourth the registers. Now we will discuss about this in brief. First of all, we will discuss about the arithmetic and logic unit. So the arithmetic and logic unit is the part or component of the CPU which performs all mathematical calculations decision making actions, and comparisons. Whatever calculations we want to do, it just come under the arithmetic and logic unit. Secondly, the control unit. It is the part of a CPU which interacts and executes all the instructions during the data processing. Third, we have the memory unit, which just stores the data while it is being processed. So every data we want to store, it is just stored under the memory unit. Now lastly, the registers. So registers are used to quickly accept, store and transfer data and instructions that are being used immediately by the CPU. Coming to our next topic, that is hertz. First of all, we will see the basic definition of a hertz. So hertz is a unit. Hertz is a kind of a unit which is used to measure the CPU we can say the speed of the CPU. So example, we can say 100 megahertz. Now let's see something about these megahertz, gigahertz and terahertz. So megahertz is the speed of 1 million data transfer per second. Then gigahertz, it is a speed of 1 billion data transfer per second. Now terahertz, it is a speed of 1 trillion data transfer per second. Now coming to our next topic, fourth generation computers. So we will see the benefits of these generation computers. So the first about this computer is these computers use VLSI circuits that integrates millions of transistors, which is very useful point. Secondly, these computers are improved in terms of speed, accuracy and reliability too. Third, they are compact in size as compared to the previous generations of computers. And they have multiple high languages such as BASIC, Pascal, Fortran, etc. that are developed in these generations computer. And the heat generated by these computers is very little, so they do not require any extra air conditioning and all. And they are inexpensive and budget friendly in comparison to the previous generations of computer. They perform calculations in picoseconds and they are more reliable and consume less power, and they require less repair time and maintenance cost too. Now coming to the advantages of fourth generation computer. So we have seen some advantages previously, but now we are going to see it in brief. So these are more reliable than previous generations computers, and they perform calculations in picoseconds as we studied in previous one. They are totally general purpose computers and the cost is low compared to the previous generation computer. These are very budget friendly computers. Also some other advantages of this generations of computer is that they have learned the high level languages. They are very easier to understand in these generations of computer. Also, the graphic user interface technology was exploited to offer more comfort to the user in these generations of computer. Now, coming to the next topic. So, there are some disadvantages of this generation's computer. So, we will see them also. So, first of all, they are very advanced technology which required to fabricate the ICS, that is integrated circuits. Secondly, only high quality and reliable systems or technology required for the manufacturing of microprocessors. Means they just require high quality system of technology for making these kind of these generations of computer. Third, cooler is required like fan. The air conditioning is not required, but fan is required somehow. Now coming to the next topic, that is input devices. So first we will see the basic definition of input devices. So a piece of equipment or hardware which help us to enter data into a computer is known as input devices. So we will see some of the examples of input devices. So they are stylus, scanner, microphone, mouse, joystick, keyboard, light pen, digital camera, barcode scanner or reader. Now we will see them in brief. So first of all we will see about keyboard. So the keyboard is an input device which sends data into the computer through typing. Whatever the input data we want to give, so it just type in the on the keyboard. With the help of keyboard we type the input data. So there are different types of keyboards. Some of them we will study about that. First of all, there is a standard QWERTY keyboard. Secondly, the Windows keyboard. Third, the enhanced keyboard. fourth, the multimedia keyboard, and the last, the internet keyboard. Now we will see the components of the keyboards, that what are the components they include. So components of the keyboards or groups of keys on the keyboards are the alphanumeric or typing keys, the navigational or cursor control keys or directional keys, the control keys or special purpose keys, the function keys, the numeric keypads. Coming to the second component, that is mouse. So a mouse is an input device too, and we have just studied it earlier, that mouse is a small instrument that used to scroll down or give directions, and it has 2 or 3 buttons on it. So we will see some brief things about the mouse. So there are different types of mouse, including optical mouse, mechanical mouse, cordless mouse, and lastly optomechanical mouse. So we will see some skills or function of the mouse. So they are clicking, double clicking, right clicking, dragging or drag and drop. So here we studied about the clicking in the mouse, and we will study it in brief. So firstly we will see the clicking. So clicking is the act of pressing and releasing the left button once. Clicking selects an icon, a file or folder. So clicking is basically used to select any icons on the monitor. Secondly, double clicking is the act of pressing and releasing the left button twice. Double clicking launches or opens an icon, a file, a folder, whatever you want. Thirdly, about the right clicking. So right clicking is the act of pressing and releasing the right button once, or it helps to launches a context menu. Fourth, dragging and drop. It is the act of clicking the left button on an object and moving it to a different destination. At whatever destination you want to move it, you just have to drag the option. Now coming to the light pen, that is another example of input device. So light pen is a pen-shaped device which senses the light and signals which are used to work with information on a computer display screen. Coming to the next example, that is joystick. So joystick is an input device which consists of a sticks at the base, and it sends its angles and direction to the device that it is controlling. So basically it is used to control services. Coming to the next example, that is barcode reader or scanner. So barcode readers captures and translate barcodes into numbers or letters by computer. Coming to the next example, touch screen. So touch screen is basically an electronic visual display that a user can control by touching the screen with one or more fingers. Now we are going to study our next topic, that is output devices. So first we will see the basic definition of output device. So an output device is a piece of computer hardware that receives data from a computer and then translates that data into another form. So we will see some examples of output devices. So it is monitor, speakers, printers, headphones, projectors and plotter. Now we will see them in a brief description. So first of all we will see about a monitor. So a computer's principal output device is a monitor, often known as a visual display unit. There are two types of monitor viewing screens. So first this is cathode ray tube, that is known as CRT. It is a technology used in early monitors. CRT monitors are based on the cathode ray tubes. They are like vacuum tubes which produce images in the form of video signals. Secondly, flat plane display. First was the cathode ray tube, and second there is flat panel display. So these type of monitor are lightweight and takes less space. They consume less power as compared to CRT monitors. Now coming to our next example, so there is a speaker. So speaker is a kind of an output device which brings out information in the form of sound or audio. Whatever sound or audio which are stored in a computer, we can just hear it by the help of a speaker. Coming to the printers. So printers is an output device that creates a hard copy of the processed information. Whatever output we get, we can just print it on a paper with the help of printers. So printers is also divided into two categories. First is impact printer. Impact printers characters are printed on the ribbon, which is then smashed on the paper. Secondly, non-impact printers. So its character is that it doesn't use any kind of ribbon. These printers are also known as page printers because they print a full page at a time. Now coming to the next example, that is a plotter. So plotter is a type of a printer used for large size printing. Most office and home printers print onto small pages like A4 size and A3 size, but for large or wide printing, we just require this plotter printer. Coming to the projector, so projector is a kind of an output device which picks images from a source and display it onto a big screen. So there are also different kinds of projectors. First is data and multimedia projector. It is also known as the data projectors, which are used to project the computer output on a wide screen such as wall or tripod mount. Secondly, there is a pico projector, which is also a small handheld projector, which is also known as pocket or mobile projector. Coming to our next topic, that is storage devices. So a storage devices is any type of a computing hardware that is used for storing, porting or extracting data, files and objects. Whatever things we want to store like files or folders, we can just store in the storage devices. So it can hold and store information both temporarily and permanently. They may be internal or external to a computer. Now we will see some of the storage devices. First we have RAM, which full form is random access memory. So this is the RAM of a computer is a temporary memory that is used to store data being processed and to be used by the user. It is volatile memory. This means that once the computer is turned off, the data is deleted. Then it can't be saved. Also, this is the storage that helps the computer to do multitask. Coming to our second type. So second type is ROM, that is read-only memory. So the ROM of a computer is a permanent memory. RAM was a temporary, but ROM is a permanent kind of memory which stores instruction used to start the computer. Unlike the RAM, the data on the ROM is stored permanently on it during manufacture and it is done once. Coming to the next example, magnetic storage devices. These are the storage devices that use magnetization process to write, rewrite and access data. They are covered with magnetic coatings and they store data in the form of tracks, spots and sectors. Some of the examples we can take of magnetic storage devices are floppy disks, hard disks, magnetic tapes, magnetic cards, etc. Now we will study the next topic, that is Windows operating system. So first of all, we will know about what is an operating system. So basically an operating system is the program that after being initially loaded into a computer by a boot program which manages all of the other application programs of a computer. So whatever the all applications are present in a computer, they all are controlled by an operating system. So we will see the main functions of this operating system. So it manages the computer resources such as the central processing unit, that is CPU, memory, disk drives and printers. Secondly, it establishes a user interface. And the last, it executes and provides services for application software too. Coming to our next thing under this topic, that is Microsoft Windows. So Microsoft Windows, which is also referred as a Windows or Win, it is a graphical operating system which is developed and published by Microsoft. So the first version of this Microsoft Windows was Microsoft version 1.0, which was released in 1985. So the three features of this window are, it is a multitasking, it is a multi-user and multi-reading or operating system. Secondly, it supports virtual memory management system to allow multiple programming. Third, it is symmetric multiprocessing, allows it to schedule various tasks on any CPU in a multi-processor system. So coming to the next, that is basic functions of Windows. So we have seen earlier many things about the Windows. Now we will see some basic functions of that. So first function is that the interface between the user and the hardware. So its first function is that it is the interface between the user and the hardware. Secondly, it coordinates the hardware components too. Third, it provides an environment for software to function. Whatever functions a software want to do, it just provides environment for the software. Fourth, it provides structure for data management. And the last, monitor system health and functionality. It also see the monitor system's health and functionality. Coming to the next one, as we have studied about the Microsoft Windows, now we will see the Microsoft Windows 10 in brief. What are their features? So first feature of this is returning of start menu. So we will see it in brief. So the detached start menu in Windows 8 is brought back in Windows 10. It is located at the bottom left corner of the window. Secondly, Cortana. A voice-controlled digital assistant, Cortana, is brought to Windows 10 desktop computers, which helps to interact with a device without lifting a finger with the help of a microphone. In this, you don't have to use your finger. You can just function it with the help of microphone. Coming to the third, appealing appearance. So it enables you to eye-shot new graphics, styles and themes, which makes it great work in a new environment. Now coming to the Xbox app. It is designed to boost your gaming life by providing an opportunity to stream games from Xbox One console, record the games, interact with other users, join gaming clubs and much more. So now fifth one is Windows Store. So Windows Store, this is a kind of a digital distribution platform, accommodates which numerous paid and free apps, which have numerous paid and free apps. Also you can just have access on games or movies also. So it is like that. It have paid as well as unpaid things also. Coming to the Microsoft Edge browser. This default browser comes up with the latest features and runs faster in comparison to the Windows 8. It helps to explore the internet and surf the web swiftly. Coming to the Windows desktop. On turning on the computer system, the first screen that is displayed in a desktop is a desktop screen. It is an area which catalogs all the icons and shortcuts on the desktop. It also accommodates a desktop background, taskbar, shortcuts and folders on the screen. Lastly, desktop background. The picture displayed in the background of the desktop is known as the desktop background. Coming to the features of the taskbar. So first feature is of a start button. It is a button at the left bottom corner on the desktop, which is used in launching applications and for shutting down the computer. Secondly, there is a search box which appears just next to the start button. It helps you to search various things on the computer. Coming to the top to Cortana. As we have discussed earlier, Cortana is a voice controlled digital assistant in which you don't have to use your finger. You can just use it by the microphone. Coming to the fourth one, that is task view button. So task view button is used to create multiple virtual desktops on which different tasks can be performed and allow one to switch between these tasks. Fifth, pinned application. So these are kind of icons of the application which are pinned on the taskbar and remains there whether currently being run or not. Coming to the sixth one, that is task tray. It is a kind of a tray which is the free space available on the taskbar just after the pinned applications. It is also used to display the running applications. Coming to the last one, that is notification area. Notification area, it is also known as a kind of a system tray. So here you can have access all kind of notifications you get. It is the right portion of the taskbar which displays icons of application which work in the background of the computer. So such application also include network connections, antivirus, date time, system languages and etc. Now we will study the next topic, that is file management techniques. So under this, first of all, we will study about the using files in Windows 10 environment. So a computer file is an entity of data or a collection of data stored as a single unit. Here are some types of the files we will study. First is document file, sound or audio file. Second is graphic or image file. Third is multimedia or video file. And the last is program or application file. Coming to the next topic, that is steps to create a file. So first step is open MS Word 2016 application software and create a new blank document in it. Secondly, write the data in it. For example, importance of reading books, and whatever you want to keep the text, you can. Third, click on File menu and select Save as option from the list. Fourth, click on Browse button. A Save As dialog box appears on the screen. Fifth, browse the location where a file is to be saved and specify the name of file in File Name text box. Sixth, click on the Save button. And seventh, now close the file by going to File Close option. Coming to the next part, after saving the file, you have to name the file. So for naming file or file naming convention, there are some steps which we have to follow. So first step is the name of the file should be reflect its content. Whatever content there is, the name of the file should reflect that. Secondly, use only letters and numbers as part of the file name. Third, do not use the following character as part of the file name like hashtag and all. Fourth, to include a data in a file name, add 4-digit year followed by 2-digit month and 2-digit date such as YYY, MM and DT. Coming to the next part, that is file extensions. So file extension under this, the first one is .txt. This file extension is basically used to represent text file. Second one is the .doc or .docx. So this file extension is basically a format of MS Word. These type of files are more flexible as they may contain graphics, images, charts, tables other than text. Third, there is .pdf. This is another frequently used file format, which means portable document format. It puts a document in a more presentable form. Whatever presentation you want to make, you can just make the PDF of it. It will look more presentable. Then there is .ppt or .pptx. These file extensions are the format of PowerPoint files. The next one is .htm or HTML. These file extensions are used with HTML files. HTML, which full form is Hypertext Markup Language, it is also used to create web pages or websites. Coming to the next one, that is folder management techniques. So it is an allocated area on a storage medium or an electronic container for strong files and subfolders. Folders have a yellowish color and look like an envelope. The next one is importance or reasons or disadvantages of a folder. So these are, it organizes files in an orderly way on the computer. Second, it makes identifications of files easy. And the last one is, it allows quick access to the files. Now the next one is how to create a folder. So the steps involving in create a folder is, right click on an empty space on your desktop or within a window. A menu appears after that. Then second one, you have to locate or move the mouse pointer to new. A sub menu appears. Third, click on folder. And the last, type a new name and press the enter key or click on an empty space. Coming to the next part, that is renaming a file or folder. How to rename a file or folder. So first of all, you have to just right click on the file or folder which is to be renamed. Whatever file you want to rename, you have to just right click. Second, you have to just rename, click on the rename option from the list. And third, last step, that is you have to type the new name and press the enter key. Coming to the next one, removing a file or folder. How we can remove a file or folder. So the first step is right click on the file or folder which is to be removed. Second, you have to select the delete option from the list. And the last one, observe that the folder list disappears after you have selected delete option. Coming to the last part, that is your homework. So whatever concept you have studied in today's class, you have to just revise all the concept, and I'll meet you soon in the next lecture. Thank you.